The three scales that all other scales come from are blues, major, and minor. Today we're going to talk about how to practice them, the intervals inside of them, and some musical examples of them. Hey, I'm Eric Haugen. Check the description box below for tabs and backing tracks on my website, information about exactly what sound tools I'm using today. I borrowed this guitar from my buddy Owen, live streams and more on Patreon, and my deep dive courses. It's all on my website. Okay, here's a G minor bar chord. Yeah, let's do G minor today. Of course, we have pentatonic minor. We're now going to fill it in and make a full natural minor scale. Notice I'm just doing all downstrokes at this tempo. There was the first octave, second octave. That's kind of tricky because there's this note right here that's out of the box. Now, of course, the layers to practice would be, well, first thing you do, you just run it up and down. Let's go ahead and tap my foot while I do that. So there it is as just dots. Let's now look at it as intervals. And those are the intervals related to that root tone there. An exercise I always say to do to really appreciate the sounds inside of a scale, aside from just running it up and down, because we tend to not really pay much attention to the tones, is we groove for one bar. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then in that spare extra bar I'm leaving there, I'm going to aim for a specific interval, a non-chord tone, hit it 3 times, and then move to the next closest chord tone if possible. What that does is it really forces me to pay attention to each of those tones, and that doesn't happen if we just... Sure, there's like sequence exercises you can do, like go up to... Those are fun. That's okay. I think it's more useful, though, to look at songs. And I'm picking theme songs because I like to look at things, movie themes, themes from TV shows, because it gets us thinking about melody independent from guitar licks. So yeah, we're taking some John Williams here. The Force theme. Here, let's go listen again. I'm not sure if this one's actually officially called the Force theme or Binary Sunset, but anyway, yeah, you know, Star Wars, just not the main theme, because I was looking for a minor key example. Really cool leaps. That note is out of key. That's the raised 7th making this harmonic minor. It's okay. All right, we mutated it a little bit. We'll do another video about harmonic minor. Anyway. Yeah, I did do a little slide there. I could have put that there, but let's put it there. That note is so key. And again, not as a dot, but realizing that that's the ninth. That's what makes that melody cool. Because listen to that against that G. Feel that dissonance. Okay, now let's move over to major. The major scale, of course, is the root of all Western music theory. Let's check it out. Let's do it in G. I often default to G major as like the key to talk about music theory. Here's the first octave. Let's also talk about my hand angle. Notice I'm not blues angle, where these fingers are coming in like that with my thumb up there. For stuff like this, we want the more proper, kind of straight up and down, fingers aligned with the fret. So there's two postures for guitar. Yeah, kind of more classical, thumb straight up behind the fingers, fingers straight up and down, or squeedle-a-doo. Okay, anyway. First octave, second octave. Related to that chord. Almost always those notes will work with that bar chord shape. Unless it's on the 5 chord. Now, of course, there's the dots. Let's also check out, boosh, the intervals. Ew, those are interesting. Yeah, they're very cool. That major 7's cool. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago in a video called Next Level Chords. Appreciating those intervals. Same thing, let's do a little Bo Diddley variant. Let's get that foot going. I really believe in that. I feel like it really forces us to pay attention to the tones. It forces us to pay attention to the tones in the scale. Now, if you want, I do have a bonus little jazz school exercise for practicing this one. It's, I don't know, fun to do. You get to the top. Slide 1 fret forward. And you come down that major scale. I used to hear horn players do this all the time when I was at Berklee College of Music. I slid again at the bottom. See what I did there? Okay, all right, let me start it all again. Get to the top. Really cool thing to do, just a good way to get you moving around the fretboard. And again, notice I had those fingers not in blues angle. I had them in, classical posture. Just a cool thing to do. Now, if we wanted a musical example of this, and if we, I'm cracking up. If we wanted a musical example of the major scale with chromatics, we do have the Super Mario theme. Okay, so to be fair, yeah, there's lots of chromatics in the Super Mario theme, but fun. Of all the songs I know how to play, this one always gets a giggle when I play it. So I did hybrid pick that. I guess I could probably... I could do it with muting. All right, first phrase. Yep, chromatics. Let's look at that again. And then we kind of have the second phrase, which does have more chromatics. tricky. Does that a couple of times. Oh, now I have to think where I am. And again, because we spent some time thinking about the intervals, what's interesting about that is that that's the blues note. That's a flat third to the 2 to the root. And then the kind of third section. Just a neat example of the major scale. You could find other ones, but that one, I mean, play that for your friends. They'll giggle. Pentatonic minor is the oldest scale. This was the scale that was around before we wrote anything down, before we knew anything. Let's go up to the 8th fret to do it. I know we know this scale. Let's not sleep on the flat 5. That one note, super cool. Definitely adds a lot of spice to the scale. Same exercise, groove for a bar, aim for some intervals, and then resolve them. Although we have less intervals in this one, so I don't know what's going to happen. Let's look at it in a musical example. Yeah, the theme from Taxi. Seinfeld before Seinfeld. Think about it. There's an Elaine, there's a Kramer, there's a Newman. Anyway, just like to point that out. Okay, the theme from Taxi. First phrase, and then it comes around again. That's a little bit of liberty I took on that lick. It's okay. A lot of people know that as a Stevie Ray Vaughan lick. Hybrid picked. And then, let's see. That's a cool lick. Notice the 1 fret slides actually throughout today's lesson. Big, again, not fast, just it's a nice articulation. One note from, what scale did this note come from? You guessed it, minor. Yeah, he pulled the note from natural minor into there. So that last lick. So cool. Now, so in conclusion, all other funky scales come from these. All the modes come from either major or minor. They're just some derivation of that where you tweak the intervals around. So that's why it makes sense to have a good understanding of the intervals inside major, minor, and blues. It really makes everything make a whole lot more sense. Thanks so much to everybody who supports me in all the ways that you do with the like, subscribe, and share. That stuff costs you nothing and helps YouTubers out immensely. It's algorithm relevancy stuff. One more time how my business works. On Patreon is where there's live Q&As, charts, and backing tracks over there. And then I make comprehensive deep dive courses that you can explore, the various ones on my website. Let's see. This lesson today, Next Level Rhythm is one of the more recent ones that I think is applicable to this. And there's also one on modes. Those are the 2 most recent ones. Neat stuff. As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. That includes yourself. Happy Friday. Eat pizza.